Hi everyone. I had not set out to be a non-profit founder. I came to America in the late 90s for graduate school, stayed on to work in the software industry. In the spring of 2010, my family got an opportunity to move back to India, to Bangalore. As we familiarized ourselves with the Silicon Valley of India, it was heartening to see all the technology parks, malls, modern housing communities, and world class highways that had come up during the years we were away. But sadly, there was also this other India that had not benefited from the economic reforms of the early 90s. It is this disparity in the lives of the people of the two Indias that took me to rural Bangalore, not too far from Electronic City, which is a big hub of multinational companies. I must add here that the government had done an excellent job of starting schools in every remote corner of the country. So the first step to reach the target of a billion literates had been taken. Unfortunately, the style of teaching in these schools was so prescriptive, classrooms so crowded, and with so few resources that it was obvious to someone, even with no experience in education, that the learning outcomes were really poor. And the ASA report published by NGO Pratham validated exactly that, for year on year. Even though only a tiny percentage of children were not in schools, children were dropping out of the school system by the time they reached high school because of the learning deficit. We needed a platform that would provide foundational literacy to the 250 million children attending public elementary schools so that they could comprehend not only the paragraphs that are in their textbooks, but also leverage the information that is out there, the technological advances that are happening so rapidly. So, this nonprofit partnered with the state to leverage the physical infrastructure of schools and started this program to better the children's English skills in one elementary school. But then the question came, who is going to teach English to children in this rural school? A language that even the poorest of the poor aspires to learn, and a technology that is so needed, a skill that's so needed. The answer came in the form of semi educated women who live in the rural communities around the schools. They could be trained to do the teaching. Our forte is the 10-year intense intervention program that lays a solid foundation in learning and prepares the children for high school and beyond. And thousands of lives from the communities around the rural schools we work with during this process. Now, massive learning deficits are not an issue restricted just to rural communities in India. Even if half of the world's population that does not have access to the internet somehow gets access and where to join social media, there will still be this huge barrier of the language that will stop people from becoming global citizens. In order to have a truly globalized and connected world, people living in the remotest corners of the world should be able to communicate in a language like English which is spoken by over 100 countries. And they should also be able to leverage technologies. Our small team at the foundation has established an innovative model that is not only helping underprivileged children become global citizens, but also empowering rural women who never got a chance to finish their formal education. This model, with immense potential, can easily be replicated anywhere in the world and will help create a better tomorrow. In the past 13 years, I've often been asked, how can one organization create 1 billion literates? And I've told them that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Thank you for listening.